Kababayan Today, we are celebrating Martin Luther King Day. That is today. But why should we care? Why should the Filipino-American community care about this day? Palagi natin iniisip, di ba, tayo mga Pilipino, dito tayo nakatira sa Amerika, bakit tayo mamomoblema sa mga buhay ng itim? That's why we are here to talk about this, and we have a distinguished panel with us, a lot of insight into this topic that we're talking about. So let's get started. Why the Filipino Americans and MLK? What is the significance of the two? Let's start with you, Professor Brandon.
Well, I think at the time, right, in his life, they were involved in a lot of the same issues, fighting against, so the same things that the Filipino farm workers were fighting for economic justice, for better representation. They're not very far off. They're not the same thing as political representation like MLK was fighting for, but they're very closely related. And if you think about it, he was assassinated in 1968. This is the beginning of the first quarter storm in the Philippines, when Filipinos would begin to fight against a repressive government of their own in the Marcos dictatorship. So there's a lot of commonality, and not just in the U.S., but in the Philippines, about his message for Filipino Americans and for all Americans.
Okay. Wow. I don't know what to say to that. Right. You're so smart. Wow. Okay. Let's put a lawyer's spin on this. Okay. Attorney, anong masasabi mo dyan?
I think he fought for the systemic discrimination, and I think everybody is a victim. And like what did Martin Luther King say? He said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. It affects everybody. I think we need to start solidarity. We don't compartmentalize, oh, they're black, so it doesn't affect me. Yes, it does. You're an American. You got to understand you're Filipino-American, and that does affect you. And the systemic discrimination affects everyone. And we can't be silent about this. I think to be an ally nowadays is to speak up. And if you remain silent, you are contributing to this discrimination.
Okay, I have something to say about how we as a Filipino community are so segregated.
Correct.
It's because we come from different islands. Diba? You're Ilocano, I'm from Batangas.
Right.
We're different, you know? And so when we come here, all of a sudden we're expected to all get along, right? But it's obvious that we're different, right? So how I know, Mariela, that you identify with the African American community. But in reality, you know, you aren't black. Yeah. So what do you get from the other side when they see you advocating for them? What is the exchange?
It's because I see it as MLK, he was fighting for black rights, but for really he was fighting for minority rights. And we are a minority, you know. I think a lot of Filipinos, they think they're more white. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, why? Why? Why is that? Why do Filipinos think they're more white than they are more black? Or maybe we're mixed. I mean, we're brown.
It's all the collagen. Like,
it's all that glutathione that are selling, and that's an entire industry that we need to really think about. Bakit nagpapaputi ang mga Pilipino? Bakit pati, di ba, you know, they have whitening for underarm, whitening for everything. What is it about being black that even Filipinos discriminate against?
Non-white. I think that the lighter the color, the white, it means you're up there, you're supreme. That if you bring anybody else aside from white or Filipino, they're not really having it. I've had that. I've dated black men before, and I remember, you know, and he had dreads. So my cousin was like, can you have at least gotten a black man without dreads to ease him in? Ease our titas in. And I'm like, for why? I like him. He's good to me. Why does it matter?
Right.
So that's what I think. I think that we have this colonialism thinking that being white and being lighter is better. So if anytime you stray away from that, then it's no longer accepted, or it's not as accepted.
Ayan. Alam nyo, mga kababayan, brown is beautiful! Okay? Let's celebrate our color and our skin. When we return, aalamin natin, this movement is happening. It's called #Black Lives Matter. I'm sure you've read about it, you've seen it, but we're really gonna try to talk about the importance of this hashtag when we return here on Kababayan Today. Stick around.